Behold Our Lady, the mystical white goddess. Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. It is so awesome to be back with you. Well, last week we started working on our wand for the mystical white goddess, the mystical white wand, which is a tool special and unique to this goddess. Well, because of my schedule, I haven't been able to finish it, so I thought we'd finish that today. So this is part 2 of last week's Wiccan Wednesday, so hang out with us. Now, as you may recall from last week, and if you didn't see last week's video, go see last week's Wiccan Wednesday called The White Wand of the Mystical White Goddess. But we took a branch that I found out in the woods, and we started to paint it white. Now, I've only done one coating on it, which is a nice effect. Depending on how you want your wand to look, it can look any way you want it. But I think I want mine a little whiter. This is a little pale yet for me. So we're going to increase its whiteness. Now, you'll notice here the one end is not painted. I specifically said last week to not paint the end until after you finish most of the wand. That way you'll have a place to hold it without smudging it and getting paint all over your hands. So we'll work on that end a little later. But for right now, we're going to just start with another coat here on our wand. And we're doing this under the auspices of the mystical white goddess. So I've got our wand propped up here. I've got one end down here. I'm actually leaning the other up against the goddess. Isn't that interesting? Now, you don't have to do it this way. That's just how I'm doing because I have to hold the camera to film. But we're going to just add, we've got some white paint. All you need is just basic white paint. I bought this as craft paint at Hobby Lobby, Craft Smart. I'm not being endorsed by Craft Smart or Hobby Lobby, but that's the paint I'm using. And I'll just set that in. So you just need a little bit in a cup or a bowl. And I would recommend a sponge brush. You notice here I have a sponge brush. Sponge brushes make it easier for this type of project. And you just want to dab your paint down. You know, the sponge brush allows you to get all the nooks and crannies that you may have trouble with. We just want to take our time. Now remember, when you're making your wand, to make it an offering, a prayer. So even the construction of the wand can be a sacred offering to the goddess. So we could pray to Our Lady and say, Our Lady, we ask you to accept our labor of love, our effort in making your special wand. We ask your presence, even as we work, to be infused in it. You don't have to wait till it's done to ask the goddess to be present. Ask her to be present from the very beginning. Now remember, when you're making your wand, there's no one way to do it. You don't have to do it just the way Psychic Bob says. I'm just showing you how I like to do it. And you may discover an even better way to make your white wand. In the last video, I got a lot of wonderful comments, and people sent me letters saying how much they enjoyed that video. And, you know, I'm really glad that it's been of help to you. Remember, the thing that you want to remember while you're doing this wand is just take your time. Make it a meditative practice, you know. Don't rush it. Just think about, you know, the mystery of what you're doing. You're making a wand, a powerful tool of magic, a tool of invocation, so that you will have the goddess's presence in your life. That's pretty special. We don't need to rush that. Take your time. As you can see, we're getting our wand to be much brighter. I wanted a bright, clear white. So it's going to take a few coats, I think. There we go. How's that looking? It's definitely getting brighter. Now, you know, because we have it propped up, we want to pick it up and we want to rotate it. So we're going to go to the other side. You'll notice that's our one side, but as we rotate it, it becomes mottled because the other side only has one coat. So there you go. So we're going to turn it over to the other side. And we're just going to do the same process over there. So just taking our white paint. And I would suggest as you do this, work from the top down, because sometimes your paint will run. And in a sense, it kind of helps you complete the task. Hold on, I've got to get it steady here. All right, see how our paint's running a little bit? Just use that. You know, use gravity. Oops. Use gravity as your friend in this process. All right. Again, oops, it's taking it to hold. We may have to hold this a little bit or hook it in a new way. Having some problems here. As I said, you don't rush it. Don't have a panic. As they say, Rome wasn't built in a day, and your magic tools will take time. I have some problems with this. All right, we'll work on it. All right, tubies. Well, we've got our both sides now evenly coated in 2 coats of white paint. You see how bright and white that is? We're going to let that just sit up and dry. We'll probably do a 3rd coat, I'm guessing, because I still see some areas that need refining, but our wand is well on its way, as you can see. So there you go. I thought we'd turn now to talk about one of the other subjects you guys have been asking about, which is my Wedgewood collection. As many of you know, I've been collecting crystal and porcelain for years, and I'm now, as I'm renovating my home, I'm looking through my collections, and I wanted to share with you a few pieces from my Wedgewood collection and talk to you about the pagan themes. So this is a box. It's a bicentenary Wedgewood box, and it's called the Neptune box. It's done in jasperware, which is an unglazed porcelain, and you'll notice it's a beautiful blue. This is a famous color called Wedgewood blue. And on the box, well, let me just open it up for you. It's a lidded box, and it opens up, and there you can see it's got, oh, my light just blew out. Okay, well, I think we lost power, but we'll keep filming. My camera's on battery. But it's a lovely little trinket box, and it's got the god Neptune rising from the sea with his trident in hand. This is a wonderful little pagan thing if you like to worship the gods. Wedgewood is famous for having ancient Greco-Roman imagery of the ancient myths, and so you can learn your Greek and Roman mythology through studying Wedgewood pottery. So what else do we got? Well, look at this. This is another little box that I have. I love collecting Wedgewood boxes, and this is the 3 goddesses, the 3 muses, or the 3 fates. The 3 graces. Excuse me. And they're the goddesses of art and literature and drama. And there they are taking care of the horse, the eternal horse Pegasus, the winged horse that people would travel on to go to the Mount Olympus and to see the gods. Oops, my light just came back on. All right, lights are on. But this is a lovely box. It's done again in jasperware. I collect jasperware specifically. Wedgewood does make glazed porcelains as well, but this is an unglazed porcelain, which I just think is beautiful. And so there's the god, well, I don't know if he's a god, but the eternal horse Pegasus, who's the winged horse with the 3 graces, the 3 goddesses of the arts. Isn't that lovely? Speaking of the 3 graces, we also have this wonderful spade dish. By the way, just to give you time frame on these, let me just back up here. This is from 1995. It was the centenary of Wedgewood. It was 1795 to 1995. So I bought this in 1995. I remember a day I got this. I was so excited. This was the actual very first piece of Wedgewood I ever owned. I'd always seen Wedgewood, but it was too expensive in the day for me to afford it. And anyways, I saved up. I think this box, now that was 25 years ago, it was like $80 for this little box. That was a lot of money 25 years. It's a lot of money today, but it was a lot of money 25 years ago. And I bought this treasured little Wedgewood box. And I'm so glad I bought it because it's actually worth quite a bit now. And then this box dates from the 1970s. It's a 1970s piece. And then here's a tray talking about the 3 graces. Here's one of the spade tray. This dates from the 1950s. And it's the 3 graces. And they are the goddesses of art and poetry and drama. And the arts. They bring grace and joy to life. Positive sign, a form of the triple goddess. You'll notice this beautiful Wedgewood blue. The spade dish is part of the bridge. They created, in the 1950s, everybody did bridge. It was the big thing. And so they created a set of dishes of the suit of cards. So they have a spade, a diamond, a heart, and a club dish. And I have all of them, but they're still stored away. But this is one of them. I just think it's very elegant. And you know, the spade is also a magical sign for protection. You can use as a protection sign. So putting spade dishes in your house is one way to invoke the protection of the gods. Okay. Over here we have another box from the same period of the 1950s. And this is known as the bean box. In the 1950s, kidney-shaped things were all the rage. You know, amoeba and kidney, like biomorphic. And even Wedgewood got caught up in the craze of kidney-shaped stuff. So they created, which is really funny for Wedgewood, a bean box. They call it the bean box, kidney bean box. And on this, you'll notice there's a beautiful scene here. There's a young girl kneeling at an altar. Behind her is what appears to be a priestess. And there's the Cupid delivering a prophecy. So this is about a girl who went to a priestess seeking information about her love life. And so the Cupid and the priestess bring forth the information from the gods. Beautiful, isn't it? You'll see this also is a lidded box. Oops, set it down here. I'm such a klutz. Luckily, I've never broken any of my Wedgewood. It's a lovely little box. And you can see it has decor all around all sides. So anyways, yeah, there's another box. This again, 1950s, as long as this one's the 1950s. And back here is one of my other treasured pieces. This is a jewelry box by Wedgewood. And again, done in blue jasper ware. And on the scene on the front, it's, I think this one's called the Council of the Gods. And it's a bunch of gods in Mount Olympus gathering and discussing things. So again, another pagan theme. Wedgewood created jasperware in the late 1700s, and it was very big during the neoclassical period. During the 1700s in England and America, ancient Greek and Roman themes were very popular, and that's when Wedgewood started making jasperware, and it's been in production ever since. It's hard to find these specific pieces anymore. They're rare and they no longer are in production. So if you have any of these sort of pieces or they look similar in your own home, maybe you inherited some from your mother or grandmother, you know, or just found it at a yard sale or a thrift store, take care of them because they're becoming very valuable now. So these boxes, I've seen them fetch upwards to over $100. I didn't pay that for this. I think I paid probably $30. But it's now probably worth about $100, this box. And it's in flawless condition. This box dates from the 1960s. So these are 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, and 1990s. So there you go, some Wedgewood. And this is a wonderful way to bring pagan themes into your house. If you love the ancient gods, especially if you honor the Greek and Roman gods, Wedgewood is a way that you can honor the gods by having their images and their stories decorate your home. And when people come over, if they don't know you're pagan, they'll just think, oh, what beautiful porcelain pieces. But they'll never know that it's your actually way of honoring the gods. So there you go. I thought you guys would enjoy that. So yeah, there's some Wedgewood for you. And I'll have more Wedgewood as I sort it out and clean it. Well, tubies, I don't think we're going to finish our wand today. We'll probably need another week on it because it's taking longer to dry than I expected. But that's okay because, as I said, we don't want to rush the process. Let's just take our time. Here's my silver star, and I associate the silver star with the white goddess. And a lot of you have been writing, said, think about what's happening with the Order of the Purple Cord, your Wiccan group, and the mystics of the Silver Star. The Mystics of the Silver Star are going to be part of the Order of the Purple Cord. They're a branch within the order. I'm working on meetings with some other people that are going to be helping with the order. So hopefully in next week we will have some information for you. So for right now, just know that the Mystics of the Silver Star are still in formation, and I'll have information on how you can join that and learn the rituals. So just hang with us. Well, guys, I've had a great time with you. I hope you've enjoyed this today as well. Listen, make sure to help me out. Like this video, favorite it, share it with your friends. Hit that subscribe. We sure could use you here at Spirit Channel. Love to have you here. And keep it here at Spirit Channel because you know we always got more coming. By the way, make sure to go over to my website, to PsychicBob.com, the link's below, and register for this Saturday's Psychic Development class. This Saturday, we're going to be teaching a class on Zoom on how to open your psychic channel so that you can remove your blocks to communicating with spirit. I'd love to have you in our class. The class is 2 hours from 12 p.m. Eastern on Saturday till 2 p.m. Eastern Time. 2-hour seminar live on Zoom with Psychic Bob. You'll get to talk to me in person. Only $30 for the class. Now, where else are you going to get one of America's top psychics to train you personally in psychic development for only $30? Honestly, I'm giving it away at that price because a lot of psychics charge a lot more. So I'd love to have you in the class. I hope you'll come and join us. You guys are the best. Well, listen, thanks for being here. You guys rock. Make sure, put your comments in the box below. Tell me, have you ever seen Wedgewood porcelain, or do you own any? I'd love to hear about it. And tell me, have you done any work with the White Goddess? I'd love to hear from you. Put your comments below. Well, guys, listen, I got to get ready and cruise because I got work to do. More readings tonight. Thank you to all of you who are calling for readings. I am getting back to people. I have a little bit of a backlog, so don't worry, PsychicBob will get to you. You guys rock. I love all of you. Listen, we'll see you back here tomorrow for Vlog Thursday. We'll go somewhere. I'm not sure where, but just be here. I love you guys. We'll see you then. Till tomorrow, PsychicBob, out of here.